Yo, we are back. Another episode of Inside NLC. Tonight, I have Dalton Huffstetler. We're going to go over this past weekend's card, and we're going to take a more in-depth look at his fight. We're going to start by looking at the jiu-jitsu and some of the undercard. We're not going to go in depth. We're going to have more podcasts in the future where we'll go over some of these. Dalton, hey man. So we've been talking. You're going to start jumping on here a little more often, especially after all the fights, and kind of go do a rundown of the cards. And appreciate you jumping on doing this with me, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you having me on. I tell you, I really am blessed to have this opportunity to get on here and talk with you because when I get in my fight zone and I'm out there in with the actual fighters, I get to know all the faces. But now it's good to be able to see the faces and then see how they correlate in the matches. So
Yeah.
I think this is going to be an awesome exchange where we can talk about each one and how their skill set matches up.
Yep. So for the jiu-jitsu, I'm just going to run down the results. We're not going to talk about any of these. We're going to do that another time. It is going to happen. We're not skipping y'all, but it's going to be on the next video. So the first match of the night, Jeffrey Swain from the Compound defeated Rodrigo Jimenez from Charleston, West Virginia. I think he's with Hometown Heroes MMA. Beat him with a Darce choke in 3 minutes. Edward the Cali King Petway, one of our veteran MMA kickboxing guys, made his NLC BJJ debut. He defeated Jeremy Wall with a unanimous decision. Matt Denning, one of the most active fighters in the region. The dude has, I don't know how many fights the guy has. I can't keep up. Boxing, kickboxing, MMA, everything. The dude fights like every weekend. He came out and beat Alec Vance, who's out of Appalachian Combat Club. He beat him with a heel hook, 1 minute, 15 seconds into the match. But he has been doing jiu-jitsu longer than he's done anything else. So and it showed. He looks really good.
Yeah, it was very quick. Yeah, it was a good fast one.
Then the next matchup, we had a cruiserweight jiu-jitsu match. Logan Seabolt, he came into the match 2-1 out of Appalachian Combat Club, defeated Curtis High from Ryoma. That was Curtis's second time competing here. That was a triangle choke, 41 seconds. He had a nice takedown, and then I think he went for a mount. Curtis started to escape the back door, and Logan got the triangle and finished it 41 seconds. And then
Nice.
let's see. We had two title matches in the jiu-jitsu. Griffin Lee and Bruno came in 2-0, defeated Tanner Cahill, former D1 wrestler, beat him for the title. It was 7 minutes, 37 seconds with an arm bar. And that's the second title Griffin has won at NLC. The previous was a 145 MMA title. Then he's moved up in weight since then. Going to do 55 and maybe higher. We'll see. And then our last jiu-jitsu match, we had Tanner Cahill, our middleweight champ, defended against Chase Morgan, and Chase got the win with a unanimous decision in a 15-minute match, and that was a good match. So yeah, that was Chase's first time winning a title in NLC. Would love to talk more about him, but we have 25 fights to talk about, so we're gonna skip those. Another podcast, back to the jiu-jitsu. So we're going to move into the main card. And so the first match, kickboxing, we had Perry Maness versus Serge Cushman. And it was a kickboxing debut for both guys. I think Perry's debut period. Serge has had one boxing match here, and then this was his kickboxing debut. Really good fight. Couple weird moments with some low blows.
Yeah.
It's like Serge won 2 rounds, and then Perry won 1 round, but then Serge had a point deducted.
Yeah.
One judge did give Serge all 3 rounds, and he did give Serge all 3 rounds, and then minus the point deduction. So he gave it to Serge 29-27, and then the other two had it 2 rounds to 1 for Serge with the point deduction. So 28-28. That was a good fight though. The guys look good for their debuts too. Both guys have trained for a while. Serge was with a gym, but lately he's mostly trained on his own. Seems more like he's a fan of it, has a love for it, but his technique's good. He's long, really long for the weight.
That's actually impressive because and that's one of the things I always think is so crazy when we do have these guys come in the NLC and they train a little bit at gyms, but they're mostly just solo practitioners themselves. And you had to think to yourself, like, man, he looks impressive now. Just imagine if he was able to get into a legit gym by a legit coach that can get him to that next level. So that's actually
Hmm.
pretty impressive to see.
Perry's with a good gym. He's at Black Cat, and I don't know how long he's been there. I don't think it's been too long. I mean, long enough that Josh was comfortable enough to put him in a match, but not long enough for them to be comfortable enough to give him an MMA bout. So he's probably been there, I would say, maybe just guessing 6 months, maybe a little longer. But I mean,
Wow,
he was
there you
good.
go.
He was good. I believe Surge's reach, his length, gave Perry some problems. But yeah, he was very active. But yeah, they both had good moments, and I'm wanting to rewatch it again. So I watched it live, and I haven't got to rewatch the fight yet. I listened to it while I was busy doing something, and I had it played in the background listening to the commentary. But I need to go. I want to go back and rewatch it. It was a good fight.
So
So moving down to number 2, we had the first boxing match of the night. It Caleb Morris from Ground Zero Morgantown against Nathan Sampson from Advantage, and this was a fight at super lightweight, which is 140 pounds. Caleb I believe he took all 3 rounds. I think it was 30-27. I think so. I need to check. Anyway, it was unanimous decision. Nathan looked good. Nathan was improved. So the first time I saw Nathan fight was in that Huntington tournament he did where they had 1 minute fights, and but I think he cut a bunch of weight on fight day for that tournament, and then this time he came in. He weighed in Friday, and he looked good, man. He looked good, but I mean, Caleb got the best of him. But yeah, Nate looked a lot better than I remember seeing him in that 1 minute thing.
yeah, well, the thing about the Nathan Sampson, he cut like I think 7 pounds on fight day for the Huntington. But
Yeah,
we also have to remember that he fought Nathan Breeden, who just fought for that title against Dante
but
Owens,
yeah,
which we'll
it's a
discuss
pretty
later on
tough
the
fight.
day. But Caleb, man, he was impressive. He reminds me
Hmm.
of me, but at a lower weight class. Like he pulling the pressure. He was throwing bombs when he needed to, and then you just had that classic outboxer versus pressure fighter, and that's what made it interesting. The scorecards were, I guess you would say, in favor of Caleb for 3 rounds, but it was still very close. Like I could have gave either one for the first 2 rounds. Then that third round, Caleb just had an extra win about him, and then he just was able to push it forward and just shut down Samson's game plan.
Yeah, Samson he was a little busted up in round 3, but I think that must have been a lot of that was done in round 3 because he didn't look like that going into round 3 at all. It was just based on my memory.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I've been hearing a lot about Caleb from Bobby Johnson. Bobby's been really high on Caleb and talking him up and letting me know that he's going to be doing some good things here. He's still pretty new to it, but that was his first fight period. Yeah,
Did you ever hear if Caleb's going to stay at 140, or is he looking to maybe go to 135 or 147? Because he was a little bit thicker
I don't
boy
know.
at 140,
I
so
mean,
I could see
he
him going
definitely
147.
looking at him. You could tell he's got room to move down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much he trains. A lot of the guys that are up around Morgantown, they tend to be college students. Sometimes
Oh,
they're
okay.
just getting into it. Like they fight, and it's because they're up. They didn't even start training until they got to college, and then they start getting good, and then they move back home wherever they came from. So I don't
There
know.
you
I don't know if
go.
he's from there. I need to find out. But yeah, he looked good, man. Let's see. Yeah, I was gonna say something. I forgot it. But God, my brain's still recovering from the long weekend, and yeah, if it comes back to me, I'll throw it out. Guess we'll
Oh,
just
wow.
move on to the next one. This next one, um, the ending was weird, but so we had Will Armstead coming in 1-0 kickboxing, 185 against Chance Morgan, who is 1-0 MMA, and he's had a couple grappling matches. And Chance is a former college wrestler, and I believe Will was a high school wrestler, but I mean, Will's a pretty good kickboxer. Chance is, I mean, he was pretty much just a wrestler, but he's starting to, like, him and his brother both, they're both putting it all together. Their jiu-jitsu is getting good. I believe they're both blue belts now, and they've not been doing pure jiu-jitsu long, but they're progressing fast. They're both 1-0 kickboxing now,
Yeah.
and I believe Chance is 1-0 MMA. Chase is, I think, 1-1 or 2-1. His only loss was Griffin Key, who just made his pro debut. So, and that
Wow.
was a
Yeah, that's
good fight.
impressive.
That was a really good
Yeah.
fight, and that was like arguable. I mean, you could argue that fight either way. You could argue, Chase's control, or you could argue, Griffin's damage. But either way, it was a good fight, and that was his only loss. Was Griffin Key, who is now a professional fighter. But yeah, so This was a good fight. I guess Chance was winning, but the finish was really weird because he like had him in he had him kind of hooked around his back, almost like if you were in MMA, you would call it a seatbelt position. Like you would normally
Okay,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
reach around, control him there, and then pound him with your other hand, which he was doing that standing in a kickboxing match. And Armstead, like, yeah, he wasn't defending himself, but it was because he was looking to the ref to break it up because he didn't think what was going on was legal. So he just kind of was like looking at the ref like, "You gonna stop this?" The
Yeah.
ref stopped it. He waved it off TKO. But Will didn't argue it. I think he knew that he should have done something different. I told him that too. I was like, "Man, you got like even if they're doing something wrong, don't just stand there and take it. You got to like get them off of you. Turn
Yeah.
around, cover up something. Don't something. Don't just look to the ref." So if the ref
Yeah,
knows they're
ref
doing
doesn't
something
really
wrong,
catch it
he'll
every
stop
time.
it. But if the ref sees you not defending yourself, he's gonna stop the fight, whether it's legal or not. So, but yeah, I don't know. That was interesting. I asked the ref. The referee told me that it was legal. I've never seen it before. So,
So
I
did he
learned
just have
something
him
new
like he
every.
had him a seatbelt and just was taking him from the side and just hit him from the side of the head?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. You know what?
Interesting.
I had this video queued up to play your fight, but I'm gonna go back to that
Yeah, but
fight
I like to see that ending,
and
kind of understand it a little bit more. So Chance Morgan is just is a wrestler who's just really honing in that striking ability to be able to be an all around fighter.
yes,
Sounds like at this point. That's
yeah,
pretty neat. All right, we should see some great things from him then. And 185, that's a good stacked division too. So you'll have an opportunity to really challenge himself against those
yeah.
former opponents or future opponents.
Let's see, skipping around here. Man, it's a big video. I skipped too far. I went from like fight 17 to whatever that was. Here we go. All right. Let me share my screen. Okay, you got that up on your side.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
So I got the volume muted, but well, maybe he doesn't have him hooked here. Right there, right
Right
there.
there. Yeah.
So Will was kind of like,
Yeah, I see that. Okay.
but yeah, I mean, Matt's letting
I'm
him know.
kind of
I
want
mean, but yeah, there for a bit. I mean, he was just turning. You can't turn your back to people either. But yeah, like
yeah.
right here. I mean, I get like Chance didn't do anything wrong. I mean, don't if you're doing something wrong, the ref will tell you. Just keep beating him. But yeah, Will should have turned around and faced his opponent. It's not MMA. I just thought this was strange. Never seen a fight finish like that.
Yeah, I wanna guess that the referee was
Well,
just stopping on the
Chance is
cause
kind
of
of
this part right here, where right before he does a seatbelt, I
yeah.
think
He's
he was
doing
just like, well, he's
he
probably
is
hurt.
doing some
So
damage.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I think that's what the ref was looking at, and then just that one little look at the ref, that final one, he just said, I'll go ahead and get you out of there if I need to, just to save the fighter at that
yeah,
time. You know,
yeah.
'cause
I
I
get
mean
it.
that's solid pressure.
He's done enough. It's just, but that it was just like the last 5 seconds, like the positioning. Like I've never seen that. She stopped sharing. I've never seen that. So yeah, Chance was putting it on him though, pretty bad. So I mean, I don't know how many unanswered shots would you say that was just in that clip we saw?
Right.
Quite a few. Yeah. Oh, will work on the clinch work on the inside fighting. That did it to you, and stay facing forward, I guess.
Yeah.
Good job, Chance. But yeah, that seat is like a seatbelt position in a kickboxing match. Never seen it. So
Yeah, I wouldn't
completely
say
new to
technically
me.
that would be legal in kickboxing. Now, Muay Thai, that's different. In Muay Thai, you might be able to get away with
Yeah.
that, but not in the kickboxing.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to get the video back to where your fight was, so I can have that ready for later. But let's see.
Yeah, now
Move
this
on
next fight, the
to
Geo
the next
Murphy
match.
versus Dylan Pavey, this is the heavyweight
Mhm.
boxing match, which, we talked about this recently when we had that interview with myself. And I was telling you how excited I was for this matchup because you had two tall guys, two
Mhm.
broader guys who are technical boxers, and I felt like it was a very fair matchup. And it actually turned out to be a really good challenge for both fighters.
Yeah. I believe Gio took it 29-28. Dylan was telling me he felt that he won. He was wanting to go back and watch the video and kind of see what the judges were seeing, see it from their perspective.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good fight. I haven't watched it close yet. I mean, I saw some of it live. I've seen bits and pieces of the video. I haven't sat and like watched it like I'm judging it though. I mean, when you're just kind of, I don't know, it's different when you're really watching it close and trying to score it versus just kind of glancing through it. And I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, I agree. Well,
Yeah.
I think in this particular matchup, I think Gio in the first two rounds. So Dylan is like one of the type of fighters who reminds me of a post style fighter. Like he
Hmm.
starts out slow, and then as it progresses, he starts getting more comfortable, and that's when he's able to land more shots. I think
Yeah.
this is like that perfect example of what happened in the Gio fight. At the beginning, he was just trying to figure out Gio, and Gio was at a countering here and there. Even though Dylan's getting shots off, it just
Hmm.
Gio looked a little bit more crispier to the judges. And I think
Yeah.
that ultimately had that deciding factor in the end.
Dylan told me he wasn't too concerned about the height. I guess he's got a sparring partner that's pretty tall. I guess he's taller. He said taller than Gio and stronger than Gio, so he wasn't worried about it. But
Yeah.
Gio still got it done. He's fighting smart. I'd like to see him incorporate a little, get a little more power, get a little more explosion. Um, but he's growing as a fighter. He's on a winning streak. I think it's the first winning streak of his amateur career. So it's cool to see that. I guess he
Yes.
is up
Yeah.
to. Well, no, I mean, yeah, he's 2-2. So yeah, he was 0-2. Yeah, but yeah, he's 0-1 kickboxing, and then he was 0-2 boxing, and now he's up to 2-2 boxing.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's finally starting to figure out that stride for himself
Hmm.
to get in these victories. So that's always good to see.
Big dude, man. Put it, get that power, lay that right hand on, or is he a southpaw or is he orthodox? I think he's orthodox.
Dylan
Or no,
or
Gio.
Gio is Orthodox. Dylan is South.
Yeah, Gio, man, once he gets that range and then starts really getting a powerful right hand on that, he's going to be dangerous
Mm-hmm.
because he's young, he's long, he's tall, so he's got
Yeah.
the natural stuff to him. I want to see him develop that power and really let that
So.
right hand go at times. And some of these guys will just walk through the smaller shots.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, there's a fight I want to see. Bryson from Kentucky, who had he just fought Ramin, and that would probably be a good fight. They're both I think Bryson's maybe 6'3", Gio 6'5", and they
Okay.
pretty similar styles. Bryson's a little more volume, and whereas Gio kind of picks the shots a little more. But I think that would be a good fight. That's the next boxing
All
card.
right.
I'm gonna look at that one.
Is that one going to be in January?
That's an MMA card. We'll have some boxing on there, but
Okay.
it's
Gotcha.
primarily MMA. No
Gotcha. Okay.
jiu-jitsu on
Okay.
that one. Just MMA, boxing, kickboxing, but mostly MMA. So, but yeah. So yeah, Dylan, Gio, good fight. Speaking of tall guys, the next fight we had Evan Sinclair coming in. I think he was 6'3", 155. Fought Jerome Whitfield, who's 6'5" at 155. I mean, two tall guys at the weight. Jerome very tall for 55, and I
Yeah.
don't think he's really cutting weight for that either. He's just really lean, and he's an athlete, man. One of the best basketball players to come out of Capital High School, all state lacrosse as well. And he wrestled through junior high. I don't know when he got into basketball. He said he didn't play lacrosse till high school. I don't know how long he played basketball, but he was a pretty good wrestler in middle school, and then he in high school he just did basketball. Basketball and lacrosse. But yeah, great athlete. I mean, Evan was a good fighter. I was impressed with him. But every time they had a grappling exchange, just Jerome found his way on top,
Yeah.
and he finished. I think he finished the third round. Maybe it was the second or third. Really with some ground and pound. I don't know how much damage he did, but he had the position and just throwing down. And he's so long. I mean, it's almost like him on his knees is almost like another person standing over top of you throwing down. He's so tall. But
Yeah. Well, I'm 5'6", so I guarantee if I stand on my knees, he'd be the tallest man.
yeah,
That's insane.
yeah,
I
he's
look at Jerome. He's what you call a freak athlete. When you say freak athlete, they don't look like a complete athlete, but they have these abilities to make them stand out. And he looks, he is really thin. You know what I mean? If he put on some muscle, he'd be easy 185 or 200 pounder if he wanted to. But for him to be able to be at that weight and fight, he could really dominate the division because he's already got that ground base on the ground. Once he
mhm.
gets that striking under control, there's gonna be a lot of people having a lot of trouble getting sight on him, and that's a good thing for him to be able to keep it on the outside. And if he wants to, then he can go to the ground if he wants to. But he's going to be a dominant force in that 155 division, I believe.
Yeah, there's some guys at the top. I mean, Roman Belcher is also just 1-1, but we know Roman's elite. Roman's got like 10, 11 boxing matches, I think 3 or 4 kickboxing, and then just the one MMA. But his jiu-jitsu is so far advanced, and Jerome's not ready for that yet. But
I agree. Right.
he's got the natural ability. He's just got to develop the tools, develop the jiu-jitsu. Yeah, there's a couple good fights I was thinking about for him at 155, and that's not one of them. not
right.
yet.
Not right now. Anyways. Yeah.
That's not one of them. But yeah, there's some fights at 155 for him that are going to be interesting. I got one of them. I need to reach out to him and the other guy and see if I can match it up for January.
That's awesome.
So we're gonna move down to about number 12, Lucas Schaefer versus Tyson Jarrett. This was a cruiserweight boxing match, 200 pounds. Lucas came in 1-0 boxing, and he also had a kickboxing match. And Tyson came in 3-3. Tyson's from the Tommy Thomas Boxing Club in Clarksburg, and then Lucas trains at the Concrete Coliseum, not the Concrete Jungle, like I said the other night. And also Butch Hiles Jiu-Jitsu. So it does both.
Oh, that's
Chris,
awesome. Okay.
Chris says that they have shared custody of him. So that's how he
There
likes
you
to word
go.
it. But yeah, this was a good fight. It went 29-28 in the favor of Tyson. And he got his NLC, his first NLC win, improved to 4-3. Love his team, man. Some good people up there. They're all affiliated with Jerry Thomas, who runs Tough Man and Rough and Rowdy. And then the coaches at the gym are just great. And I found something out about that gym, man. It's 100% free for all these guys. There's coaches. They come in, they just, on their own time and their own dime, and they train all these fighters for free. Like, they don't take a penny from anybody, and that's pretty cool when I found that out.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's good to give back to the community, and that just shows how much of community that they want to be involved with at their location there. So that's always awesome. The Tyson Jarrett fight versus Lucas was very good. Lucas looked impressive too, but you could definitely see the experience level when you watch that fight. And
Yeah,
the experience level was different, like you could tell. But Lucas was in there. He was giving every little lick back, and he was like, "I ain't going nowhere," and he didn't. He lasted all 3 rounds with him, and letting that he was in here for the long haul.
Lucas will take one to give one. I just wish he would stop taking them. Like, move that head, block, dip. I'm sure that's something that's going to be from his first loss up to his second fight. We saw a major improvement. And then I'm sure from this one to the next, and this one, he's still a lot better than he was.
Yeah.
But the thing there, you could see some things he needs to work on. And he's young. He's new to this stuff. He's going to work on them. And he's wanting to make his MMA debut in January. But yeah, man, it's definitely can't take those in the little gloves. That's for sure. You cannot take those big punches in the little gloves. You got to move that head, move your feet. If you don't want to move your head, move your feet. Just get out of their range. But Lucas likes to land a punch, and he doesn't care. He'll take yours if that means he can land his too.
Yeah, exactly.
But just Tyson landed more, scored more points, got the job done. I need to get him on here and talk to Tyson. I haven't got to really talk to him yet. Yeah, a good fight. Unanimous decision, Tyson Jarrett.
Yeah.
Moving down to the next one, these guys went in swinging. MMA fight, 185. Vaughn Jones out of Black Cat MMA in Morgantown up against Logan Spelak. He is with Coalition MMA in Marmette with Griffin Key, J.R. Cochran, Josh Sullivan, all those cats. I believe Jerome Whitfield trains with them some as well. He goes to Coliseum a lot, but he's also with those guys. Yeah, these guys came out, man. These guys came out throwing bombs. Both guys trying to get that knockout. As a coach, it's probably hard to watch and getting frustrated. Like, dude, relax. Making your debut. Both guys make their debut.
Yeah, well, I think that's what it was. Like, both of them making their debut, they were like got a little bit of jitters. So I think when they stepped in there, they was taking each other punches, and they was actually having fun with. Those are the fights you want to see anyways. And they were giving the fans the money's worth when those two were throwing down. It was really enjoyable.
They definitely gave a show to the fans, that's for sure. Probably gave the fans a show and gave their coaches a heart attack.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, good work. So Vaughn Jones came out, got the win. He kind of reminded me of his look. It's first time I've seen him in person. He got the hair off, so I didn't recognize him at first. I didn't know it was him. Kind of reminded me of like a Keith Peterson. Not like exactly, but I don't know what it was when I saw him. He just reminded me of Keith Peterson, the UFC referee. from New York.
Yeah. Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know what it was, and he came out listening to that metal, for his walkout music. I
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
was like, dang, he looks like Keith Peterson. He's blasting the metal. What's going on here? Yeah, it was a good one. So and then we move on to bout number 14. Jimmy Drago making his NLC debut. He came in 7-3. His last fight was on ESPN, fighting for the Dana White Contender Series. He was on one of the first episodes this season, which we saw Thomas Gant fight on Dana White Contender Series this year as well. And Thomas won his fight
Yeah.
and got the contract. Jimmy fought, in my opinion, he fought the best welterweight on this season of Dana White's Contender Series. So he lost the fight. The other guy got the contract, went into UFC. We think Jimmy's still close, and he's a win or two away. We got the one win here, so maybe get another win, and he should be in. I would think he's moved from 7-3 to 8-3. He's had really tough really tough schedule. He's fighting dogs, man. And he's coming out of New York, and the skill level there is just so high. I mean, you win a fight in New York, like you can win a fight anywhere. Yeah, he beat Justice Lamperez, who came from Louisiana, from New Orleans. These are right outside New Orleans. And he was telling me he gets to fight on some cards where Dustin Poirier has something to do with it. Dustin's involved heavy in the MMA
So that's
scene
his
down
hometown
there.
right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
Jimmy, he he's doing the right steps to get to that UFC contract. UFC, they're looking for fighters who can be at the top of the level and fight the best guys. And what Jimmy's doing, and he's already fighting these best guys. So whereas one guy he'll have to fight eight or nine more times to maybe get a contract because he's just fighting these average guys. Jimmy's is going out there and he's fighting the best guys, saying, hey, if I win 2 or 3 of these big guys, and I'm already been battle tested. So he's making the right steps. So that is very promising for him to possibly get there maybe one day soon.
Yeah, he's trying to be active. I don't think he's been too active this year because when you're going into you got that opportunity with UFC, you kind of sit on the shelf for a bit, and they don't want you taking another fight, getting a TKO, getting a loss. They don't want you to be scheduled to fight for them and take a loss somewhere else. That's one thing. But yeah, so he had not won a fight in 2025 until that fight, but that was really due to he had the UFC fight back in like July or something like that. So they had him sitting waiting for that one for a bit. I think the fight before that may have been a no contest. That he was a fight he was dominating, and something happened and it went to a no. Oh, accidental headbutt. That's what it was.
Okay.
He was fighting a lefty and kind of just moved his head a certain way, and then they both came in, smashed. He was winning the fight, bumped heads, cut, no contest. Every state's a little different on the rules. Some states you have to complete so many rounds before they can go to the judge's scorecard. I've seen it in Kentucky where it was like it was almost the end of the second round. We had something happen, so if they had went like another 30 seconds, we would have went to the scorecards, but they called it a no contest because the second round was still going on. But it was one of those deals. Headbutt. He was dominating a fight, headbutt, and cut the opponent, and fight was off. But yeah, so Jimmy got the win over Justice, moved to 8-3. That was Justice's 28th professional MMA fight. So that dude's active. And I guess there's a lot going on down in Louisiana.
Yeah,
Dudes
I'd
like to
say
fight.
so. Well, if you
Next
notice,
fight,
if
I'm
you go
sure.
to the bigger,
Yeah.
if you go to these bigger states like New York and Louisiana, in Indiana, even up here in the Chicago area, where we have like maybe 4 or 5 promotions in all in our tri-state area, they got that per city almost. So there's a lot more opportunities when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I see it with like boxing in Louisville. Like I don't even know about it going on, but there's just boxing all the time. And I mean the home of Muhammad Ali, but like there's so many fights up there, and I never hear about them. I just checking results. I'm like, boom, there was like 2 events in Louisville this weekend. I had no clue they were even happening. But yeah, they're developing fighters up there, man. And I've seen some dude. I can't remember the name of this gym, but they are producing USA boxing national champions out of there. I think a lot of them, they don't stay in Kentucky though. Like they're coming up in Louisville, which is a big boxing town. They go pro, and then they sign to a manager or something out in Vegas, and then they're gone, or they're in Atlantic City, they're gone somewhere. But Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know the scene in Louisiana. I was asking him some questions after his fight because before the fight, I didn't want to like mess with him and ask a bunch of questions and get him distracted. I was like, I'll ask him after. But yeah, he says pretty good scene and was telling me about Poirier being involved with some stuff down there. So I guess Poirier is pretty good cook too.
I would say probably selling his hot sauce.
Yeah. So moving on, we got another boxing match next, about number 15, AR Green versus Eli Atkins in a heavyweight match. This came about when AR main evented NLC 28 against Dalen Jimerson, heavyweight boxing match, Dalen's hometown, our outdoor event. And when the fight ended, Eli went to school with Dalen. So AR got the win over Dalen, and Eli came in and called him out in the ring. And it was like, hey, let's run it. They were both already scheduled for fights in September. Let's run it in November. And they ran it. They did.
Yeah, they
AR looked so good, man. He was looking sharp. I mean, Eli came out looking good too, but man, I mean, I've never seen Eli just like whiff on so many punches, and AR was like, his defense was on, man. His footwork, his head movement, it's better than I've seen. I mean, probably ever. So
yeah. Well, a lot of people, they look at losses, and when they say that one loss, they judge you off that one loss. He had that one loss for that title match last month, and people, I guess, would maybe write him off. But if you look at AR's track record, he's fighting some of the top guys, and he's looking impressive while he's doing it. So that's why I never judge people off that loss. In that fight, yeah, them two were banging it out. I think Eli maybe was just getting a little bit of frustrated because he was taking a little bit of shot, and he busted his nose, I think, round. When you get your nose busted like that, it's harder to breathe. It's harder to concentrate because you're trying to worry about your nose, and you're trying to step off a line, so like that. AR had a good game plan, and he executed it well against Eli Atkins. I think this taught Eli Atkins maybe how to approach fights a little bit more differently or a better game plan. So this is all it did was just make both of these fighters grow, in my opinion. But yeah, they gave the fans a show, and I was on the edge of my seat. Those big boys were throwing hands, and anybody could have went down.
Eli's a guy you can never count him out. I mean, Eli could be getting dominated from the first minute all the way up to the end, but he's always one punch away from ending a fight.
Yes.
And he's got really good reach. He worked a lot with Roman Belcher. He said they sparred a lot, and something he picked up on was just like catching people at the end of your punch. And I see Eli land, he's hooked, man, and he's got really long arms, and he's just really sneaky, and his hooks kind of throws them like you do. And I see you do the same thing. Like these dudes, like you guys are coming in with an exchange, and you just throw that one last looping shot, and then they're coming out of the exchange thinking they're safe, and then bam, it catches them. And I've seen Eli, and the only the difference between you and Eli is like he's got concrete hands or something. He puts it, and people just collapse. And AR knew that, and he knew that he couldn't, like, it wouldn't be smart to be taking those. So he really worked on his defense for this fight.
Yeah,
yeah,
he did. Yeah,
and he I spoke to him before, and Eli's last fight he won with body shots. He dropped Brad Huntsman with multiple times with body shots, and that was something that AR was expecting. But he also knew, like, Eli's not just going to throw the body shots. He's going to be working it, but he's still new. It looks like he's pretty new to working the body, but he's always going to end up with that big looping left or big looping right to the head, and I don't know if he landed any of those this time. They do damage, but AR fought smart, man. Got it done.
Yeah, they do damage, but they got to land first.
Yeah.
My coach always makes fun of me all the time for it, and that's what I'm trying to get. Like, I'll use the looping hook sometimes, but I had a habit of always using it, and my coach calls them maybe shots. They may hit, maybe they won't. So I'm just like, well, I gotta figure that out, I guess.
I guess you gotta move with your feet, because sometimes I've seen you miss it, and then you like stumble into the ropes when you miss that shot.
Yeah.
And a really good boxer is gonna take advantage of that.
Yeah, they'll be cut it, and then you're in the corner, and then you're getting pieced up.
Yeah, and I've seen Eli do that a few times too. Like, he's really good at landing those shots from the outside and catching you on the end of his punch, but when he doesn't, he's off balance. So,
yes,
but I mean, Eli's still young and fighting, man. I mean, Eli, he's been coming to our events probably since the beginning, since he was in high school. I mean, I knew him when he was playing sports at Logan High, but I was coaching there. I was coaching soccer. He was playing football, but Yeah, he didn't compete until I think 2024. It was the first time he competed in anything. He started out doing some tough mans and stuff. And
He actually started fighting this year.
was it this year?
When he, yeah, like when
25.
you, yeah, well, I mean, he might have had like 1 or 2 matches, but I mean, like actually trying to grind and put in the training, put in the work. Like I think he might have
Mm-hmm.
just jumped off the couch and said, "I can do tough man,"
Maybe it
and then
was.
did pretty
Maybe it
well in
was
that.
this year. Was it
Yeah,
January?
he's
The
pretty
January
new.
Tough Man, was that his first?
Yes, and then that he's had over, I think he said 12 fights this year. So he's like,
Yeah.
again, like with Matthew Dennings, he's like the trailblazer of combat sports. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
always staying active, which is gonna work in his favor as he keeps progressing because he's
Mm-hmm.
getting all this experience. So he's gonna be able to see these veteran moves that
Yeah.
people has been throwing on him.
I love seeing it, man, because he was telling me, I think in 2023, he helped us set up the cage at Bridgeport, May of 23, the first time we had a fight there. And he was like, "You're gonna see me soon. I'm gonna be fighting soon. I'm training." But he was really busy with football too at the time.
Okay.
He was playing for I think that team in Portsmouth, the semi-pro team. But yeah, he was like, after football season, I'm in, man. He's like, I'll be there at football. And then I think it was he got a new job and was like busy with that, and then it was just one thing after the next, and then boom, he popped on the scene, fought like every other week for a couple months, and he's fought for some belts. I think he's won a belt or two. He fought for one of our titles and lost to Chaz Blevins, who's dog in everything he wants to do. But yeah, Eli fought Chaz for one of our titles. He won a belt, I think on September or October up in Clarksburg, and somewhere up there.
It was September that he fought Chaz Blevins.
He won a couple tough man tournaments too, I believe. And the ones he didn't win, he fought like multiple time champions and lost decisions on those.
Oh yeah. Well, same thing at the Mountain State Raw. He was in there and he did that. And like I said, he's been, that's a very active person right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like seeing it, man. I'm glad he's doing it. I was wondering for a while. He kept telling me for like 2 years, like, "You're gonna see me soon. You're gonna see me soon." And now we're seeing him all the time. So
Yeah.
cool. So we'll move on to the next one. J.R. Cochran came into the fight 1-1. He was coming off the loss to Chaz Blevins, mentioning him again, and stepped in there with Devin Williams, who he was 1-0. Last saw him, it was either 23 or 2024. It was 24, I believe. So Devin was 1-0 coming into the match, and I was really impressed with him. His first fight, I believe he fought Will Armstead. He took a big shot and went down early, but then came back and then won the fight and finished him. Was it Will? I might be mistaken on the opponent, but yeah, he fought a fight. He got dropped early, came back and won. With this fight, JR blasted him, so he got dropped early again, and JR was on him.
Right.
So some people were arguing that it was an early stoppage. I mean, you can say that, but then if you let it go another 5 seconds, then you could argue that it was a late stoppage. If some of those are landing. Talked to the referee. He said from his perspective, it looked like from the shot the guy went out, and then when his head bounced off the ground, he woke back up because as the ref stopped it, he was defending himself. He was pulling his guard. He was, he was doing what he needed to do. He went from a bad spot to a better spot as the fight was getting stopped. But JR, it was 15-second fight. JR was on it, and it was a big left hook that dropped him.
Yeah, it was a right hand to the body, and then went upstairs with the left hook. And when he hit this guy didn't just stumble to the ground. Like his whole body just shifted,
the whole thing
horizontal, and then fell down.
Yeah.
So it was a hard shot. But one thing that a lot of people doesn't understand unless you've been in the fight game for a while is yeah, he went down and maybe you call it a early stoppage, but they were both still fresh. The amount of damage that you can cause somebody when you're fresh and pounding and ground and pounding, whereas if you're in third round and you're trying to get off the best shots, dramatically different. So in my opinion, the ref made a good call by saying,
yeah,
it's so early. You took that much of damage. This is amateurs. Like you can live the fight another day. And then J.R. Cochran got that hit. And I can tell you right now, I sparred JR, and he's got some power. And he didn't even hit me with anything crazy. He just hit me like he was working with me. I'm like, hey, dude, you need to chill out almost. You know what I mean? And he hit me maybe with 20%. So I can only imagine what he's hitting with 100% of that.
JR is on his way down in weight first time we saw him, I believe he weighed in like 240 something for the fight. I don't know what he started at when he started training. But he made weight. He was under. I don't know if he was like 203, 204 for the light heavyweight this time. And I was like, dude, when was the last time you saw 205 or less? He was like, dude, like 7th grade. He's been a big boy. He was a real heavyweight wrestler, hell of a football player.
Yeah.
I guess if he was any taller than he was, some D1 schools might have been looking at him. But if you're 5'7", 5'8", D1s, and it don't matter how good you are, they're not looking at you.
Yeah.
Not at the position he played anyway. But yeah, man, that left hand, I rewatched that a few times, that video. I thought that was crazy because it's like his whole body went. That was a
right. That's how you hurt somebody, is when their whole body just shifts to the chest.
Yeah, let's play that. I'm going away from your fight again.
That's
okay. Going away from your fight again here.
Bringing back the weight thing with JR, he expressed to me when we did train together that one time that he was looking to go down. He's looking to get 185.
Mm-hmm.
They always say the more weight you gain, the less power you have, and then you actually, for him, it's going to benefit him even more, because the more he loses, he's still going to carry that same power. So that's going to be a crazy 185 when he gets down to that weight class he wants to get to. But yeah, right here, you'll see it in just a second here. Oh. Yeah, see, body then head. Perfect technique.
See, I'm able to slow this thing down. Move that thing. I got something. Y'all can't see it. The screen share thing kept covering everything up on me. It was like hit the chin and the temple both.
And then he did exactly what he needed. Got in the guard in a good position, and then just started ground pounding. Like I said, he's a fresh fighter. That took a lot more damage than if it wasn't a 3rd round.
Yeah. Yeah, he was still eating shots. Like, he was fighting to get the guard back, but
yeah. Well, if you watch how he's standing, if you watch how he gets up, you can see he's still hurt. See how he gets up right there? Just a second, it kind of goes away from him, but you can see how his body's still kind of limp as he's getting up. That kind of gives you a sign that he's still maybe not all the way hurt, but he's still hurt.
Props to JR, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Boom. I guess so that hit him on the chin, and then I guess knocked his head. I was thinking it was a temple shot. I hadn't watched it in slow motion before this. I was thinking he hit him on the temple, but now that I watched it hit him in the chin. But then where it knocked his head away, it looked like his hand went up there. So
yeah,
it's definitely
he followed that left hand through, which is a great shot. Yeah, exactly. See that? He's turning the hips in and everything, rotating, and then he just follows him down.
Yeah, right there. Right there. I mean, that's a big shot right there, man. And it looks like, so I guess Devin may have been stepping back because his foot. This may be why his whole body went that other direction. Yeah, boom.
Yeah, it looks like he caught him off balance a little bit too. But you can see, I mean, he is trying to go right.
That was a good stoppage. He's doing what he needs to do, but JR was just on him.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, man, that's a dangerous dude right there.
Yeah,
dangerous man.
And taking nothing away from
JR, he might be 18.
Devin either.
If you told me he was 35, I'd believe it. Yeah. I mean, Devin's a good fighter, man.
Devin Williams, like I said, this is like one of them fights where unfortunately he got clipped, and a lot of people didn't get to see his showcase his talents. So maybe we could see a better version next time. So I don't take nothing away from Devin. He just caught slipping at the very second, or at the beginning of the round, and that was all it.
He'll be back. He's a good fighter, good gym. I'm sure that he'll come back stronger from that one. I'm gonna move down. Up next is you. I'm gonna skip your fight. We'll come back. We'll talk about that after. We'll play the video.
Sounds good.
We'll move on down to, so this one didn't go very long either. Malachi Simmons, Braxton Elkins. This one was I was asking Malachi about that. He said his coach showed him the uppercut, and but I guess he must have just kept seeing that it was open, and he was like telegraphing it on purpose. And he was like, winding up, and like he was like he was like taunting him and trolling him with an uppercut motion, and then finished the fight with a big right uppercut. But I guess Braxton, it was his debut. So Malachi was the younger fighter. Malachi's also 18 years old, and but he's got that was his 4th fight, so he's got the experience. Like his first fight, he looked like he had some jitters in there and he was a little wiry, but like he's
Yeah,
really settled down now. And then Braxton, making his debut, he had one kickboxing match, but his MMA debut, he was older. Um, Dude he was built really good, man. Like looked like he was strong as hell. He's with a
yeah,
good jiu-jitsu gym, but yeah, just the Malachi was taller, longer, and just a better striker. But got nasty uppercut, dropped him. He face planted.
yeah.
Malachi, I believe, is gonna
Malachi
be a
is
good boxer too.
well, Malachi. He's had a lot of rumors around him. Like I've heard things out. Well, even before he fought, I've heard some good things about his
Really.
striking that is improving. Yeah, you kind of some of these up and comer guys, especially when they're 18, and they're looking at how
Hmm.
impressive Malachi is. He starts traveling, and no matter what. And everybody's talking about the Roman Belcher versus Malachi, and wanting to see how that matchup would go in an MMA or kickboxing standard. So
Yeah.
that would be after a few more matches, that'd be something I'd be interested in seeing.
Weirdly, like Malachi's 3-1, Roman's just 1-0. But
Yeah.
Roman is, I think, 21 and Malachi's 18. Roman's been fighting for a few years.
Yeah, yeah,
So
exactly.
it's like Malachi has he's just all of his fights are MMA, whereas Roman's got probably 16 fights or something like that, but only one of those is MMA.
Yeah.
Roman's ground game is a lot more developed than Malachi. Malachi's not been grappling, but maybe like 6 months or something. I think
Oh wow, okay.
I may be wrong on that. So he made his debut. Was it May? I think it was either May or August. It would have been May. Made his debut in May, and and I think at that point he had been training for 4 months. So he's probably 10 months in now. I think he started training in January. So
Okay.
and he was still in high school when he made his debut. He was still in high school. He was
Yeah.
he graduated like I guess a week or two after his MMA debut. They said he was a really good football player and he was getting offers for some schools to play at the collegiate level, but he
Wow,
just
heck
really
yeah.
wanted to pursue fighting, and he joined that gym in November of this year, and 10 months later, he's sitting at 3-1, one of the top fighters in the region, still
Yeah, that's
18.
still crazy. These guys that are younger, they're showing promising futures for the West Virginia Athletic Commission,
Hmm.
for all of us guys trying to maybe make it big one day. So I'm really excited to see how these guys keep developing.
Yeah, and then the fight with him and Roman, I would like to see it. I know they want him to get a little more. They want him to develop a little more because like it's the reason they don't want him to fight Roman is Roman's jiu-jitsu is just so good, and they
Yeah.
recognize that. And as much as they hate each other, like they respect Roman's jiu-jitsu, and that's why they don't want the fight to happen.
It'd be good for the
But
coaches, to keep the
yeah,
ego aside and be like, hey, we realize that you might have us in this advantage right now, but in the future we could do something. But good for the coaches to be able to recognize that and not to say, no, my guy's better just because of the ego trip.
yeah. I wish there hadn't been so much trash talk because they like I don't know, but it's weird. Trash talk sells fights and stuff, but I don't like it. I do not
Yeah,
like it.
yeah.
There's a place for that, and it's not NLC. I do not like the trash talk. And it causes me trouble because now when I go to certain venues, they make me hire a bunch of extra security because these guys almost getting into it, and it's really
Yeah,
expensive. And chill out, guys. You're amateur MMA fighters.
yeah,
We don't need
right.
all that. Yeah, they got pretty heated, but yeah, I don't know. We may see that fight. I don't know what Roman's plans are on going pro. I know Roman's like calculated with everything, so he's not going to go pro too early. Like he hasn't discussed it with me. Like that's something
Mm,
I'm sure he's talking with his coaches about. It's not really any of my business. And if when he goes pro, I'll just try to find him pro fights. But
that's right. Yeah.
it's I mean I'm having trouble getting them amateur fights, man. Dude, I've had so many people say no to fighting Roman on multiple events. I've got a guy that said he'll fight him in March, so I'm waiting for Roman to get back to me.
Well,
But
does he
still, that's
have a
like
fight
4 months
scheduled
away.
for December?
No, no,
Okay,
I'm
I
trying to
thought he
find something.
did. Okay.
He did,
Okay,
but
gotcha.
it's not going to happen now. That was the Malachi fight.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that was. I mean, if there hadn't been trash talk and then the fight got scrapped is one thing, but like the trash talk and then the fight getting scrapped, that's got some people upset, and they're upset with me
Yeah.
too. It is what it is. But moving down to the next fight. Oh, yeah, Czar Parrish and Duncan Bogano. Why do I not have Duncan's record on here? I don't know. But on my bout sheet, I didn't add his record. Maybe I accidentally deleted it. I had it on. It was on there at one point. I deleted it. But he's got a good record, winning record. Duncan holds a title at another organization, and he fought for the Doghouse Promotions title back in March. And Czar Parrish, he came into this fight 6-4. It wasn't all that long ago. Czar was like 1-4 in boxing, and I think he's like 6-0 or 7-0 MMA. He's like that, like he's the man, the welterweight, the number one welterweight West Virginia for MMA. But his boxing, man, he's turned into a boxer. The first few times I saw Czar Parrish box, he looked like a wrestler in boxing gloves. And but he's definitely looking like a boxer now. He has put it together. It looks like, I guess that would have been 6 wins in a row. So he's up to 7-4. I mean, I may be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure it was 1-4 at one time back in like 2022. And he hasn't lost a fight since. MMA, he's undefeated kickboxing, undefeated MMA, and he's on like a 6-fight boxing streak. Czar Parrish is a bad man, and he hadn't been like the most active in all of his fighting because he's a student at WVU, but he's got that fire lit under him again, and he's wanting to make some stuff happen. We were talking after his fight, so he's wanting to get active and get after it and make some things happen. So he looked good out there.
Yeah,
as always.
awesome.
As always, putting on the show, doing a good job. Dang, we're an hour into this. I think you started to say something. I may have cut you off there.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, I can't remember. If it comes back, I'll say something.
I'll let you talk about this next one. Isaiah Payton came into the fight 11-2 against Thomas Kinchin. I have his record listed as 2-2 because that's all that it shows online. But
yeah,
I think he was fighting before they were really reporting everything online. It was all going to a pass book that he probably hasn't seen since he was like 12. He said he had a lot of fights. I don't think he knew the exact number. His coaches said it was probably 40 or 50, but he's like 26 or 27 now, and he hasn't fought since he was, I don't know, like 15, 14. And then his older sister is the number 1 ranked female fighter in the United States, professional. She is really good. Samantha Worthington, very good. Trains with Clarissa Shields, trains with multiple people. She's at a big gym in Louisville. Well, not Louisville, sorry, Loserville. And Loserville. Is that how you pronounce it?
That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of that place
before. They got a college there called the Loserville Cardinals, University of Loserville. They're like top 25 football team in the country right now.
Wow, heck yeah! All right.
You never heard of Loserville?
Never heard of them.
Loserville, Kentucky?
Never heard of them.
Really?
No.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, tell me about that fight, man. I know I'm pretty sure you've looked at that one pretty good.
Yeah,
probably scouting him out for Jay.
Yeah, right. Well, he's light heavyweight, so Jay's a little too small for.
Well, these Thomas is going down. Thomas, this was at 75, but he could have done 68 easy, and he said he'll next fight 68, 60, whatever. Probably hit 54 soon. So he's going down.
Okay, well then, I'll be on the lookout. Which I'll be on the lookout for him anyways. I watched that interview with you and him, and then he was talking about how he rose up and boxing about his sister and everything, and how he did have all of his fights. But yeah, I think when he was fighting, it was during that era where nobody was actually putting anything, no database on the internet. So I was actually intrigued in this fight. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Kitchen get a point deducted in this fight? In this fight,
he did for punching ground and pound.
Ground and pound, yeah.
He dropped him with a body shot and then landed like 3 bombs while he was down. Like I think they hit him in the shoulder, but
yeah. Probably because he's going down.
He said that he was always coached to do that. He said if the referee doesn't pull you off of him, just keep going. And he did it and got that point deducted.
Yeah, which
but in that situation, if the other guy doesn't get up, that's probably a DQ. If you do that and then the other guy can't continue, I would imagine that
would have been for sure. Yeah, so that's what I would definitely fix that for Thomas. But other than that, dude, he looked very impressive in that fight. He's got that. He still has
He
that. Still that
he got
brawler
rocked.
style. Mm-hmm.
He
Yep.
got rocked early in the fight, and he was looked like he was fighting rocked the whole time, but he was
Mm.
just doing a really good job of getting inside of Isaiah's range and working the body.
Right. Yeah.
And I guess Isaiah is a really good fighter, but I don't think he's fought anybody that works the body like that before. So
Well, it's just one of those things. Like if you can find people that stay smothered the whole time, they're very hard to fight. Especially if you're a
mhm.
long guy and you're used to keep on outfoot and you don't work like you've heard the tire drill, right? If like he's
Oh
taller,
yeah.
like if Jay didn't work the tire drill, he'd be a little bit more very comfortable like with me pressing all the time. But
Mhm.
if you get a tall guy and are used and they're okay with fighting on the inside, then it doesn't take as much energy because you're not as.
Yeah.
So I think that might have been the downfall for Isaiah because he just wasn't used to that type of pressure and somebody's fighting inside the whole time. So if Isaiah tightens that up, he's actually a very, very skilled boxer.
And I'm sure he will. I mean, this happens to you in a fight. This makes or breaks guy. You lose like that. Some guys quit. They're like, you know what? I don't want to do this again. And then some guys are
Yeah.
like, hey, that's never going to happen again. And they work on it. And he's got some good coaches up there. And his team, I believe his boxing school, they have recently joined with Black Cat MMA. So they're all in the same place now.
Oh wow,
He's got
it's a big gym now.
Yeah, they were. I mean, Black Cat grew fast. It started. It's still fairly new. Josh Fowler's done an incredible job, and he does a lot of his own little promotions and stuff up there, like little tournaments and things in the gym. And but yeah, so they had a. I don't remember the name of his gym. Was it Jim's Gym? But it was Eric Watkins, who is a former pro fighter and was one of the best guys in West Virginia. He fought Roy Jones Jr.
Wow, there
Then
you
he
go.
had Peter McGinley was the other. I think that may be the main coach. Eric Watkins is a good guy. He runs a promotion called Real Fight Promotion in Morgantown. They put on great events.
Yeah.
And Eric was there the other night. Got some pretty cool video. If a lot of you guys don't know him, you probably saw Eric tag Newline in some videos that he posted. But yeah, so that's the people that Isaiah's got around him, man. And Eric's he's fought a couple like all-time greats in professional boxing matches. And then they've got some good coaches. So Isaiah's probably just never dealt with somebody that can do that to him. He's either like I said, guys, either that happens and you never see him again, or they come back stronger. And I'm
Yeah.
hoping that's what we see. I hope we see him coming back and maybe him doing that to the next guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one as well. That would be good for him.
Yeah. So Thomas Kenshin is looking for a title. He's looking to go to 168 is what he's wanting his next move, go to 168, fight for a belt. Already talking about it. I'm not going to say it on the air, but we're talking, we've already talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
We have the opponent in mind and he fought on his
Who's the
card
guy
as
at
well.
168?
It's vacant right now.
Is there a champion? Oh, yeah. Okay.
So it's vacant. 168
Because there's some good fighters in there. You got to look at Evan Bowen's like is rising up and he's Chris. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Evans he's just 2-0 though, so he's
Well,
but he's
rising.
coming. And then Petway's at 168.
I did not know
4-0.
Petway was that high. Okay, yeah, that's
Dude. Petway
that
fights
things up.
Petway fights like everywhere from like 55 to heavyweight. He's just kind of like you, except he's like you but with ankle weights instead of food.
Yeah.
Throw on some blue jeans and put concrete in the pockets or whatever he's got to do. He'll fight anybody. Yeah, and Petway is like on every card there is, like everywhere. His coaches got to call him like, "Hey man, quit! you need a break. You almost got to like kick the dude out of the gym for the day. Like, hey dude, you've had enough. You need to recover. Go home.
Yeah,
take an ice bath." Yeah, that's Petway. But yeah, these boxing divisions are starting to get deep, and a lot of the events we have coming up are MMA events, and I'm over here like, man, our boxing divisions are deeper than anything. I really need to get some boxing going. I have one scheduled in July. I'm trying to get a few venues locked down for some events before that, so I'm waiting on some people to get back to me. But I can't do the amateur boxing in Kentucky because of the rules. But
right, yeah.
So it's got to be West Virginia, and a lot of the gyms that are available in that we use are it's basketball season, so they don't want us, using it right now. Because that usually keeps us from doing boxing. That's why you see me do like 3 boxing events every summer. So summer and fall, and then it's like MMA all winter because gyms are hard to get. Moving down to, we got the last few fights. Bout number 21, Chase the Loose Moose Stafford made his NLC comeback. Chase is still probably has more wins than most people in NLC and hasn't fought here in like 3 years. But I'm pretty sure he's still like top 10 in wins at NLC. He made his NLC debut at NLC 2. He was going to fight on 1, but just couldn't get him matched up. Like, by the time he had reached out to fight, we had already matched most of the card. And then the only people left were like some 155ers or something. So he didn't get on our first event, but he was on like almost everything from there until late 22. He was on like every show. And then I think he fought for us once in 23, and that nothing since until this one. But yeah,
wow. Hey, yeah.
Chase Stafford's back. He came into the fight. He had 9 amateur MMA fights, fighting Bobby Houston, who also had 9 amateur fights. So 4-5 versus 5-4, and got it done. Round 2 TKO. Man, if Chase hurts you, he is so dangerous, and he's active with he's active with the head kicks. He's a Taekwondo guy, strong, just very physically strong, quick. Ask Chris Smith about Chase.
You got it.
Yeah, bad man. Man, I met Bobby. It was cool talking to Bobby. Bobby, one of the nicest guys I ever met, man. He came in. He drove straight from work. I think it was a 3-hour drive. He like got off work, drove straight to weigh-ins. He got in there and he was like 0.4 over on the scale.
Yeah.
And he was like starting to throw clothes on to start running around to cut weight, try to sweat. I was like, dude, have you even been in the restroom yet? He's like, no. He ran down to the restroom, used the restroom, came back, and he was underweight.
Oh, there you go.
Like, dude, you just drove 3 hours and you got out of the car and walked straight to the scale. Like, come on, man. Yeah, he was about to try to sweat it out. And I'm like, dude, just go piss it out.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. He went and did that, and he was under. He was tough, man. Chase had to, I mean, the dude's not going to quit. Chase had to just keep coming at him.
Yeah.
It was a good fight. A good fight for, so was it 1 minute and 33 seconds into round 2? It was 3-minute rounds, so that would have been a like 4.5-minute fight. But it was 4.5 minutes of those guys clobbering each other.
That actually brings up a good question I was going to ask you earlier. Did Jerome Whitfield fight the St. Clair? Was that 3 rounds, 2 minutes? And why is that? Is that a new rule that's been inducted into MMA?
So West Virginia, your first 3 fights in West Virginia have to be 2-minute rounds with the shin guards and with the shin guards and something. 2-minute rounds and shin guards. I think that's the only change. Your first 3. They were telling me they changed the rule to your first 4, but I can't find anywhere that shows that. Everything still says 3. Then they said they voted it in at a meeting and just never updated their rule book or something. So I don't know, because they were trying to make Chase. They were trying to make Chase Thomas and Haynes Lalonde wear the shin guards, and I was like, no. And I pulled the rule book out. I'm like, right here, dude. And he was like, yeah, we changed that. I'm like, when, where is it? We couldn't, and then they couldn't even find it. So yeah. Anyway, what?
Gotcha.
Yeah,
that makes sense. All right, gotcha.
Yeah, so your first.
I was kind of confused because I was watching that and then I saw that.
You go to Kentucky, your first amateur MMA fight, it's pro rules except no elbows. That's it. So
yeah, okay. Well, North Carolina has adopted that now, and in South Carolina, you're allowed to kick the head and everything, and
really?
Virginia. Yeah.
So West Virginia, I think you cannot elbow. You have 6-ounce gloves instead of 4. And you have the 2-minute rounds, and I think that's it. And you know the shin guards, the shin guards and the 2-minute rounds. That's just for your first few fights, and then it goes up to 3-minute rounds with no shin guards. As long as both guys have over 3 fights, that is not if one guy's got like 5 and the other guy's at 2, they both have to wear shin guards and fight 2-minute rounds. But and I think it's with boxing. You have your first 3 have to be 2-minute rounds. You have to have 3 2-minute round fights before you can go up to the 3-minute round fights. And I'm trying to do all of our title fights at the 3-minute round fights. So that's why I don't want guys with like 2 fights doing it. But sometimes you get these dudes that have a lot of the 1-minute round fights, and they could be like 15-0. but they've
Yeah.
never fought more than a 1 minute round. And that makes it true. Like Lucas Wright, he fought for a belt. The dude had a really good record, but they were all 1 minute round fights. So he's not eligible to go up to 3 minute round fights yet. But he's clearly one of the top ranked guys around. So you couldn't just like give him these bottom feeder guys. You couldn't put him against the ranked number 15 guy because he's gonna
Right.
get,
Yeah.
and he's
Yeah.
out here knocking out the guys in the top 5, even though he's never fought a long fight before. Makes it tough, man. I mean, some of these guys are like, some of these dudes have 20 fights, but they've only trained 10 times in their life. And some of these guys are coming in as their debut and they've been training for years and they're dangerous. So the
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
matchmaking can be tough on some of those.
Well, the debut fights are always the hardest to do.
Yeah.
Anytime anybody says, "Hey, I want to fight," like coaches, they want you to train pretty well because you just don't know
Mhm.
who that person is. So the debut fight I always think is the most unconventional one because you don't know if this guy has just been trained for 6 weeks, or you don't know this guy was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to be a prodigy and I'm going to train for 3 years before I take a fight." Like for me, for example, I didn't get into my actual first fight for 2.5 years, and that was consistently training.
Mhm.
And then I fought a guy who I think had, well, Charles Moore. I actually fought him. He was 2-7, so I just happened to luck up with him. But what would happen if I fought the debut guy who only trained for 6 months? This wouldn't have been a good idea. But you
Yeah.
don't know that because you're debut.
Yeah. When I'm matching them, if I got a guy that's out of a gym that I know, usually I don't ask for video because I'm just like, you know what? Like, if he's not ready, the coaches aren't going to put him in there. So I just
Yeah.
assume they're competent fighters. And then if I get a guy that's a debut and does not have a gym, I always ask him, send me a video, you spar and hit the bag, something. Shadow boxing. I just need to see how you move. And they're always worried I'm going to send it to somebody. I'm like, dude, trust me. I promise I will not send this. My eyes only. If you want to send it to me, let me watch it. In 30 seconds, delete it. Like, and whatever you got to do. But that's for me for matchmaking because I hate matching bad fights. And it worries me with the new guys sometimes. Like that Caleb and Nathan fight this time. I've seen a little bit of Nathan. I knew he was better than what it showed in that tournament in Huntington, but then like Caleb's at a good gym, and so I knew he was going. Like, they wouldn't let him fight if he wasn't ready to fight. But he was also, it's his debut, and he hadn't been training but a few months, like 5 months or something. So, like, well, he's not going to be a killer, but he's not going to be bad. And so, and I had seen a little bit of Nathan, and I knew like I thought it would be okay, and it was until Nathan got tired.
It was actually a good matchup. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, no. So, as far as I've seen on NLC, I've liked the matchup because I've seen other promotions. I won't call them out like that, but I've seen them where it's just a complete niche match, and everyone knew it was before they even fight happened. And we don't. In NLC, we try to strive to put on the best performances, but the best matchup as well. And not anybody can just get a title fight whenever they want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I like about it.
Yeah. Yeah, people want me to throw belts on stuff as like a sweetener. Like, I don't know about that matchup, but you put a belt on it, we're in. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. You have a losing record. You're not.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you're 3-6. You're not getting a title shots, and then they get mad at me. But they look at your record. Do you deserve a title shot? No, you do not. So and I've been putting my foot down on it. And sometimes I'll make an exception. Years ago, I was new promoter, and I was stupid. I was a dumbass, and I would put belts on fights that didn't deserve belts, and then you would end up with a champ that had a really bad record that was scared to fight anybody else. So then he would just vacate the belt and disappear just to avoid the guys. So I was like, man, I got to quit doing this. Like, at first I was thinking, like, I just need to get all the belts out. We need a champion in every division, and then eventually the cream will rise to the top. And then I don't remember when it was. I started just kind of looking at it. I'm like, man, it looks really bad when your champ's like 2-6. So so we'll wait. So now I want you to have 3 or more fights in that sport with a winning record. If you have a losing record, I want you to be on an active winning streak to be eligible for a belt. But even with that, you need to be ranked like at the top. If you're 3-5 on a 3-fight winning streak, but you're still ranked like number 12 at NLC, I'm not going to give you a title shot over those 11 guys ranked ahead of you. So don't even, like, don't ask for that. But like when, and especially, and then dudes who tell me I want a title shot, but I don't want to fight that guy because he's really good. If you're not going to fight somebody because they're good, I'm not giving you a title shot, because I've seen it before. Guys will win a belt and then they refuse every fight you offer them. Then you have to strip the title because they won't fight anybody. So if anybody's ducking people, and recently I did that. Somebody didn't want to fight somebody else because they were good and they wanted a title shot, and I told them no. So it's happened a few times. I'm not gonna throw any names out, but it's not just one guy. It's like, I mean, I'm talking double digits. It's like a lot of people. So if you think I'm talking about you, I might be, but I'm also talking like 30 other people.
Right.
That's if one of those people's watching an hour and 17 minutes into this podcast. We on a rant there. I'm gonna move on to the next fight. So we had another boxing title fight. Our champion, Dante Owens, who's the NLC lightweight boxing champ, defending the title. He came in 18-7. He fought Nathan Breeden from Advantage, and Nathan came in 7-5, and they had a good fight, man. But dude, Dante is he's been spending more time in the gym training, and it really shows. He's grown a lot as a fighter this year. I saw him fight. I saw him fight. You see, he's got, 25 fights, and probably the first 20, you didn't really see a lot of like growth. Like it was kind of like from his first couple fights all the way up to like that 20th one, it was kind of still the same fighter. But these last few, it's like every fight, just major growth. It's just a lot of growth this time. I mean, a lot of growth. But what was his last fight? Did he fight in August here?
Yeah, he last fight he fought in Clarksburg, and he fought that I want to say Varney, I think. He was an MMA guy who was a flyweight.
Oh yeah.
And he looked impressive on that one
too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, and Varney, I know Varney had won a tough man tournament. He's a lot of MMA, kickboxing, and Varney's a good fighter, but like Dante, I'm pretty sure Dante took that all 3 rounds over him.
Yeah.
And then Dante came out with Nate this time and took it 30-27. And I mean, Nate's tough, man. Dante put it on, but like Nate gave him a fight, but Dante is just he's just improving so much, and the time he's putting in at the gym is showing. His brother, I'm seeing the growth with his brother Jaden as well. Jaden's doing the USA boxing, so we might see him in July. I don't know that I'll have any other USA boxing. I don't do a lot of that, but Dante is improving, and I got a guy that's really, really, really wanting to fight Dante right now, and it's our former 135 champ, Jacob Ray. He's making his comeback. He updated me on his weight the other day. He's under 145 walking around, and he said easy cut to 35 right now, easy. And hell, Jacob used to be the dude that would show up 120 pounds to defend his 135 belt. They'd throw some rocks in his pocket just to make weight to defend his title. Yeah. He held the title for a long time, and then he switched over to USA boxing for a bit, and then kind of disappeared. He did some redneck brawls and stuff, but like his record's still like 20-something-3. So
yeah, it's still very impressive.
But he's not been active lately. But he said he's ready. So I told Jacob I wanted to see him get a win before he fought Dante, just for the fact that he's not been active. But I mean, if something doesn't come up, we might go with that fight. But I'm wanting to see Jacob get a fight, get him a number one contender fight. You win that, you get the belt, get a title shot.
I'll go ahead and put it out there by now. If what's his name again? You said what was his name? I'm sorry. Ray?
Jacob Ray?
Yeah, Jacob Ray. If he's looking for a fight and you want him to have that spot and he wants to do it in January, this will be my call out now. I'll take him at 135 and see who can compete for that spot there. I got to wait.
You at 35?
Well, that's the game plan. My game plan is to get down to 135, 140. Yeah, I got a little bit to go. Yeah, maybe not in January. Yeah. It'd be my primary goal, but maybe I'll stay right in the future then, because again, it's all about fighting these high level guys. That's a very impressive record. So, but Dante on the other hand, he's a tactician.
Yeah, weirdly, Jacob is like I'm just gonna throw out a number because I'm not sure. Like, let's say he's 24-3, and so he's
Mhm.
got. Let's say he has 27 fights. He's maybe trained at a gym 3 times.
Yeah, and I think that's so crazy. That goes back to the Emmanuel Mannings and all these guys that are solo practitioners. Just imagine if they was able to get into a
Hmm.
gym and really develop that craft with a like a certified coach. Gosh, you can just imagine.
Yeah, and Jacob can box. He's not just a brawl. I mean, he can brawl too. Like he'll if Jacob's fighting a fight this woman rounds, like he just comes out like balls to the wall the whole time. But he can
Yeah,
settle down and fight. He can settle down and box 3 minute rounds and be tactical as well.
yeah.
So I just want to see him in shape. I want to see him in shape and really ready for it. I think it was one of the last times he fought here. He was not in shape. He still got the win. He came out and I mean he was like exhausted after the first round. We were all kind of worried, like, oh man, he's gonna kind of get picked apart now. And then even he was like so tired, could barely breathe, and he was still like hitting the
Still
guy and
throwing
not
them
getting
hands,
hit.
wasn't he?
He was still,
There
yeah.
you go.
He went from being a little wild and then just kind of slowed down and then got technical and won the decision.
Yeah, that's awesome. Heck yeah.
He was like just doing it. He'd like throw it, boom, boom, um, yeah. Jacob Ray in shape under a legit coach would not be. It'd be like a cheat code.
Yeah,
So maybe maybe him not training is just making it more fair for the other guys. I don't know.
maybe. But then,
Yeah,
yeah, that sounds like it'd be a great matchup then if you're not able to find anybody. If he's able to get that cardio up and him
Jacob
and
has
Dante
asked.
go at it, that'd be really good.
Yeah, Jacob's asked me for that fight a few times. So they've never fought each other. They've almost fought a few times in tournaments. I think he told me one of the last times he did a tough man tournament, like Dante lost the fight before they would have met, and then
Yeah.
I think Jacob won the whole tournament wherever. I think it was Huntington or something, but he said he was wanting to fight Dante, and Dante got beat. And but
Does Jacob
yeah,
Ray
that was
wear pink shorts?
yep, pretty boy Jacob Ray,
I've
pink
seen
shorts.
okay, I've seen he
Yep.
fought he won the Tough Man I think in 2024 or
Hmm.
2023 in Beckley. So I know exactly who it is because he's won 3 belts now, right?
Yeah, and
Or
I
three
guarantee.
jackets.
I think he's won 2. No, he's won 3. Yeah, he's won 3. And I guarantee he didn't train a single time for that tournament, and then came in and ran through everybody.
Yeah.
That's what he does. It's like he keeps it a secret that he's going to fight. He's like keeps it a secret from everybody, including himself. He just like signs up on Thursday and then shows up to fight Friday.
Hey, guess what, guys?
Yeah,
That's
look who's
awesome.
here. Daddy's here. Yeah, we keep getting way off topic. Yeah, Dante, Nate, good fight. Dante's looking better than ever.
Mhm.
It's good to have Nate fight for us for the first time. He's got a lot of fights under his belt, and there's a lot of fighters over at Advantage, and it's good that we're getting a few of them because they're a little further away. So I think they fight a lot in Virginia, but they're like right on the state line. So like I've always wanted to have them
Yeah.
fighting here, but I get it. Like you can travel to Virginia and fight an hour away, or you can like travel in state to me, but it's like 3 hours, 4 hours. So, but yeah, I'm glad to have a few of them. And we had Brandon Rogers down there cornering them. I
Well,
believe
I think
Brandon's
I think they'll
son
keep
is,
on
yeah.
they'll keep on progressing in NLC, and they built a solid team. I know a lot. I train with those guys a lot, and um yeah, if they start merging into the NLC, you're going to see
Hmm.
at least 1 or 2 champions out of that gym in the future at some point because they're definitely doing what they're supposed to be doing out there. They're technical and they've learned how to either pressure or outside. So it's a good gym.
I've known about them for a while, and I always knew them as like a jujitsu gym and MMA gym.
Yeah,
But seems like a lot of their, I mean, unless I just don't know about them, it seems like a lot of their active fighters right now are boxing.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I haven't really seen any of their MMA guys lately, but yeah, like I always knew them as a MMA or really as jiu-jitsu gym with MMA fighters, and then but they've been really active in boxing lately. I know one
Yeah.
of our jiu-jitsu a guy Donald that does jiu-jitsu with us, and he doesn't fight. I don't think he fights MMA, but actually he may actually I think he has one MMA fight. But Donald just joined that gym.
Awesome. Heck yeah.
He's switched up from I don't remember his other gym, but he's over there now. But yeah.
Yeah.
Moving
Now
on down. So we were moving.
Breeden, yeah, good. Yeah, Breeden, he's a wild card too when it comes in the ring
Mhm.
because he's not the most polished boxer, but he's so orthodox that sometimes it'll work for his style. But
Hmm.
sometimes even like he can win a lot of boxing matches, and he is a top level guy. But when you get a guy like Dante, who we could agree that has just been more of a tactician now lately, that just kind of supersedes unorthodox the patient game, and then he let Breeden do his first, let him work on his punches in the first second round, but then that third round, that's when Dante really put on that pressure, and I think that's when Breeden took the most
Yeah,
damage, just because he wore himself out.
Dante's in shape, man.
He's out in
Yeah.
shape. Yes, he is very in shape.
Well, I think that was his first fight with the longer rounds too, the 3-minute rounds. So that may have played into that.
Breeden?
Breeden.
Yeah, I think so too.
I
Yeah, I
think that
agree
was
with
his
that.
first.
Yeah,
Yeah, first fight with the longer rounds, and Dante has been there, done that before. So
yeah,
he's done that
yeah.
a few
That's
times.
it.
I think
There's
it's
that.
at least Dante's third or fourth at 3-minute rounds.
Yeah, that's where that experience comes into.
Yeah, yeah. So that yeah, you get that extra minute added on to every round. It makes a difference. I mean, especially when you're used to those 3 1-minute round fights, and then you're in here doing the 3 threes. I mean, so like every round is like a full fight from what you're used to.
Yeah.
So that'd be like 3 of his other fights all packed into one. Let's see. So I'm going to moving down to fight number 23, the last amateur fight on the card. This was for the vacant NLC featherweight MMA title. We had our former champion Chase Thomas came into the fight 4-2 out of Rama MMA or Rama MMA Jiu Jitsu in Frostburg, Maryland. He's
Oh,
from Lona Koning, Maryland. Came in 4-2. He fought Haynes Lalonde, who is 3-0 out of Hybrid MMA in Lexington. And Haynes burst onto the scene this year. In the beginning, I didn't really know a lot about him. He's really eager to fight, and he was talking a lot of trash, getting in people's heads, man, and
yeah.
pissing people off. It's funny. His nickname is the Controversial, and I mean, he lives it, man. And I don't know. I don't know if I remember the first time I heard it, Elijah Thacker called him the Controversial. I don't know if like he was already going by that or if that's where he got it from. I don't know. But Haynes has been coming to these fights, and like people look at him as an underdog, and he just keeps winning.
Yeah.
But well, not in his third fight. Everybody was seeing him as the favorite in that one. But I think it was maybe not. No, the first one we didn't know either guy. He was brand new. The other guy was new. The second fight,
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of people were. He fought Ethan Baker, and everybody was going with Ethan on that one. And then that was a war. Ethan's great. That was an absolute war. And then Haynes got the win, got a submission. Was it? I can't remember what the submission was, but he got the submission win. Both guys were beat up. It was an incredible fight, like fight of the year kind of thing. But yeah, came out, fought Chase Thomas. Chase has been inactive as of late. He gained a lot of weight. I think he said, I can't remember. I mean, just I may be way off. I feel like he said he was like 220 or 230 at his highest, and then he got back into training and he got down, and he said this was his easiest cut to 145. It
All
makes no
right. Yeah,
sense.
all
It
right,
makes
yeah.
no sense to me how you gain all this weight, quit training for a while, and then you have your easiest cut to 145 that he always struggled with before. But dude, he looked good. This was a great fight. The most time I've seen Haynes on his feet in any of his fights. But yeah, it was a good fight, and Haynes is dangerous. Like even there was times like Chase was getting the best of him, put him on his back, and that's where
Yeah.
Haynes can pull some stuff off because he's pretty slick on his back, and like with the triangles, the arm bars, he's just throwing submissions at you, and he's hitting them, man. But they went the distance. Chase got they went all 5 rounds, unanimous decision. I don't know if I don't remember the score, 49-46 maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the judges gave all 5 to Chase. I can't remember. I could be wrong. My brain's not working. But great fight, both guys. Both guys, bright futures, young dudes. Um, it was a really good
Yeah,
match,
you
and
can't.
it was
Haynes can't really hang his head, you know,
yeah,
into
yeah.
the fight Chase. Chase definitely was in there. He looked impressive, but Haynes was. I mean, he went all 5 rounds and showed Chase
Hmm.
that he has some pulse in his game as well. Even though he is
Yeah.
a champion now, but at least this is another fight that they can both grow in. So I would not hang my head if I was Haynes. I would actually be impressed with myself and keep on moving forward. You can only go up from there.
Yeah.
So
Funny thing, after Haynes' fight, I didn't know about it till the next day. They were telling me that he was puking blood, and they were going and getting the doctor and the EMT. No, he wasn't puking blood. He said he ate some dates because he did puke, but it came out looking like blood because of the fruit that he had ate. So I was like, "Are you okay, man?" He was like, "Yeah." But yeah, good fight, both guys.
Yeah.
They're both going places, man. Both of those guys are really good. So I mean, that either way that fight goes, I hate it's a fight you hate to see somebody lose that one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Then we go down to the co-main. We have Christian Inastria, who is a Bellator MMA vet, and came into the fight 11-5. This is a pro flyweight fight, 125 pounds. Then David Miramontes, he came out of San Antonio, Texas, to fight Christian, who's from Hialeah, Florida. Maybe I hope I'm not.
That's both a good drive. Yeah.
Yeah, they both flew into Bridgeport. I mean, you could see the airport from the front door of the venue there. Like it was literally we're on this hill, the road's in the middle, and then the airport's on the hill right there. It was right beside it. But yeah, you're standing out in the parking lot, you can see you can see all the planes over there and all the hangars and stuff. But yeah, they fought. They went the distance all 3 rounds. I think Christian took it on all 3 scorecards, 30-27. David had his moments. David's dangerous on the feet.
Mm-hmm.
Christian is just a really good grappler, really good wrestler. He controlled the ground. Really, really frustrated David. And they had a little scuffle. Well, it was a one-sided scuffle. They were kind of because David was saying some things, Christian said some things back, and then David came at him he was going to hit him, and he got held back, and I guess something happened with him and the commissioner, and he's on an indefinite suspension after whatever was said there.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, David said it was a misunderstanding, and the commissioners they were pissed off, but whatever. Whatever. Sorry, I'm getting tired, y'all. I'm kind of just going off topic. This was a good fight. Great wrestling from Christian. He got the win, improved to 12-5. He's on a little winning streak. He's coming in to fight for the NLC Professional Flyweight Championship next month against Gage Mitchell. Gage, game over Mitchell.
Okay.
And December 6th in Lexington. Gage is from Madisonville, Kentucky. He recently beat, I think, Anthony Pettis' brother. Angelo Pettis,
Sergio?
I think was his name. No, the other one, the younger one.
Okay.
No, Sergio. Sergio's got Angelo. I think it was Angelo. I think it may have been. It was a few fights back because he got a win at my organization. He got a win at NLC over one of the guys in Lexington, and then he got that fight on 8. So it was Anthony Pettis' event, APFC, one of their first shows, and he fought. And he fought Pettis' youngest brother, I think, unless it was his cousin. I think it was his younger brother, Angelo. And they probably brought him in to lose. I don't know, but he came in, got the win, and got the upset over the Pettis guy on the Pettis event. And he's sitting here with a good record. I think he's 3-2 as a professional. And and Christian is up to 12-5. So I mean, a little bit of a gap in the number of fights, but it should be a pretty good fight. Gage is pretty good.
That's awesome.
So fighting for I need to update it on my bout sheet. They're doing 5-minute rounds. Yeah, big.
Yeah, that's the C caliber title fight right there. You gotta be in shape for something like that.
I hope it doesn't go the distance because I want to get that fight over with so we can take the cage down and get out of there and go to bed.
Yeah,
we need to throw like a big knockout bonus on that one. Get that fight over with. Submission, whatever. If you get us out of there early, you get some money. But so that's his next fight. But yeah, Christian came out, got the job done, won 30-27, all 3 scorecards over David. The main event, this was, I mean, it's just 1-0 versus a pro debut. But as far as West Virginia, this is 2 guys that were like the top guys on the scene as amateurs. Both of them held titles here. Denzel Chapman held our lightweight title from 2020. So he took it from Ryan Stell, who won the belt in 2019, and Denzel took the belt from him, held it until I think March of 22, and then we had a couple champions in between, and then Griffin Key won the belt in think it was maybe December 24, held it until May of 25, and then went pro.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. So he was a champion for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, so he held the belt for a bit, and no, it wasn't May of 25. It was so maybe he won it in mid 24 until the end of 24. I can't. I'm probably wrong on that. I'm probably butchering all that. But then he did some fights at higher weight classes, like some non-title fights up at welterweight and stuff, where he fought Chase Morgan. Yeah, Griff. But yeah, man, and the walkout songs. I can't remember what Griffin came out to. It was pretty wild, and then Denzel came out to the Mortal Kombat theme. That
Yeah.
thing hit. I've never heard anybody come out to that, and like I didn't really think it would hit hard like that. And then man, I don't know, they cranked it up, dude, and it was pretty crazy. The crowd was going nuts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then they went out and just had a war. And it was 1-1 going into round 3, and man, it was a crazy fight.
And a good fight. I mean, it was very competitive.
Yeah.
Both guys were there, both got your game. But these guys, they're the type of guys who bring a certain aura where everybody,
Mm-hmm.
some people after they watch their fights, they're like, okay, my fight's done or my friend's fight's done. Then you see people start leave. Everybody wanted to stay for that main event to see these two guys clash
Yeah.
heads because I didn't know if they had history or what, but everyone just knew that it was going to be a fun fight, and it turned out to be. And they went to war, and it was a good mostly stand up fight.
Mm-hmm.
I think Griffin wasn't too big on trying to go on the ground with Denzel because I think he had the better grappling. So
Mm-hmm.
Griffin made him stay up for a good amount of time, and that's what made it a very interesting fight.
Denzel's very well rounded, and like he did. Well, his school didn't have wrestling growing up, so you can say he never wrestled, but he's a good wrestler because he
Yeah,
got into wrestling when he got into MMA. He definitely had the advantage on the ground. Like Griffin is really good at not taking damage. Like I mean Denzel kept him on his back. I don't know that he did any damage whatsoever, but also
yeah. I don't think he did a whole lot of damage.
Griffin couldn't get up, so Denzel controlled him, and it wasn't like he held him down for 4.5 minutes in a round either. He'd get him
Right.
down, later in the round, and was able to keep him there. And I think I may be wrong, but he maybe took him down all 3 rounds. He at least did 2 of them. One of
Yeah.
the rounds he caught a body kick and drug him to the ground. And then another one, the third round, I feel like Griffin had landed a big shot and had Denzel like cut, bloodied up under the eye, and he went and threw a head kick. Denzel dipped under it, and then Griffin lost his footing, and Denzel jumped on him, and then the
Yeah.
fight, and then they were there. It's probably 2.5 minutes to go in the fight, 3, something like that, and Denzel got on him, and they that's where the fight ended in that position.
Yeah, he just didn't lay him up. Yeah.
So and he got the decision 29-28, all 3 scorecards, and that was cool, man. The first time we've ever had 2 former NLC champions fight in a professional fight. We've had guys that have fought as amateurs go and do it, but it's the first time 2 of our champions fought each other in a pro fight. So it was a big fight, like biggest fight in NLC to date, just because of that. Like we've had
Yeah,
Tommy Gant and all
absolutely.
these guys come through, but like to me, Denzel's been with us since NLC 2. Griffin has been with us since the Baileysville Brawl tournament we had in 2022. You mentioned the history. You didn't know if there was any history. There was a little history. When Griffin graduated high school, I think he may have still been in high school. He called Denzel out and said he's coming to take that belt. He said he was going to take all of his belts, his boxing, kickboxing, MMA titles. And when he called him out, Griffin hadn't even fought yet. He was 0-0 and everything. And Denzel was, number 1 in the state in all 3 sports. And
Yeah.
and Griffin made his call out. And then Denzel went pro in 23. So by the time Griffin had worked his way up, like Denzel was at the professional level. And then Denzel let
Yeah,
him know,
right.
like, hey, when you go pro, we'll run it. And they did. And Denzel just couldn't keep waiting around. He's like, I can't wait on all these guys. If you fight this guy and beat him, then there's going to be another guy just call you out. And then you got to wait for him to
For
come up.
sure.
So
Yeah.
yeah, Denzel went pro, and he's like, hey, when you go pro, we'll run it. I'll give you your debut. And he did. He held his end of the deal, and came out. And they had an incredible fight, main event. Awesome
Yeah,
fight.
absolutely.
Hate seeing a guy lose his pro debut, but it was a big fight, man.
Right.
Big fight, and
Yeah, but now
A lot of
imagine
people
if
turn
he
it around. I've seen guys start 0-2, 0-3 as pros, and
well,
then turn it
that's
around, go to
exactly what I was
UFC
gonna say.
later. So
I was gonna say, imagine, he's
yeah,
0-1, but he fought a very skilled Denzel Chapman. He can go on a 5-5
yeah,
win streak to be in the UFC in a blink of an eye. So that's always a good thing
hmm
for Griffin if he keeps his momentum going. Because he's got the momentum, he
well,
just got to
Griffin,
keep following with it.
yeah, Griffin's the
Yeah,
kind of guy. If I had offered him a fight that he thought was easy, he would have taken it. He's like, nah, bro, that's not. He's like, I want a challenge. That's how he is. He
yeah,
don't throw easy fights at Griffin. He doesn't want that. Griffin wants to test himself, and he wants to prove that he belongs there. Like, you don't offer him easy fights. He wants to fight real fighters. So yeah, wouldn't expect anything less for his pro debut than to be the guy that was the number one fighter in the state for several years. So and that's
yeah.
his pro debut. That's what he wanted. So yeah, we talked about the main event. We're gonna go back to your fight now.
All right.
So tell me about that, man. You came out, you fought Manny. You and you guys, we had you all fight up a higher weight class. So you guys were ranked number what 2 and 3 at 147. And then we had you guys
Yes.
fight
Yeah. Yeah.
this one at 54. But you were working out of state and you were driving like straight from Illinois to Bridgeport. So
Right. Yeah.
it's like didn't want you cutting weight and then driving, on a interstate for 9 hours and causing a 20 car pileup somewhere.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I've been
Yeah.
stationed Chicago for a couple of weeks now, and you know, to be able to try to do that cut was to cut that kind of weight and then go down there and drive. It's a lot of mental. So, and props to Manning too, because he accepted that at that weight class. Because he could have been like, no, we're fighting 147. That's what we're supposed to be at.
Mm-hmm.
But and I think in his mind, he was like, I want to fight
Yeah.
the best version of you. So let's fight at whatever weight you want to fight at. So, props to him for
Yeah.
that. So that's what we did. We weighed in at 157. A very humble guy, a very big guy. He's very talkative. Like we talked the whole time in the event. Like there's no animosity, especially when you had that much mutual respect for each other. And then when it's time to fight, we gave the fans a show and we fought.
Yeah, it was a good fight, man. He posted like a little like 5-second clip of like a little sequence of punches and both you guys throwing,
Yeah.
missing, ducking, slipping, blocking. It was pretty. It was a technical fight, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that was actually the last 15 seconds of the third round. And then you can see we had that whole pace the whole time. And I think it was a very close fight. A lot of people were saying he won it. A lot of people were saying I won it. Um, but if you had to sit down and look at it, I think what edged him that fight was that last 15 seconds. He just had a little bit more crispier pop. Maybe it wasn't landing on me, but whenever he was able to throw, he threw fast and it looked good. So I think the judges saw that for the last 15, and that's what they remembered, and that's what they supported him in that third round. And ultimately he got the victory. So good for him for that.
Yeah, he did a really good job of like kind of parrying your punches and kind
Yeah.
of spinning.
Well, he's got that that little
them.
Philly shell thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
So
I
and
saw a lot of
so
those. He ate a lot of your punches on the shoulder and the glove, and
mhm.
he did a really good job of that. Or like he would kind of dip in and it would just kind of snib his forehead or something.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
I mean, you got some of them in, but he did a really good job of negating a lot of those. And I'm sure you're gonna go back and watch it and then come back, improving yourself from that too.
Yeah,
Like, hey man,
absolutely.
he's doing this and that on my punches. Like I need to adjust this, need to adjust that. And watching it in slow motion, like, well, if I had done this instead of that,
Right. Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, another thing I think was going to help me in the future is, I mean, you talked about it several times, because I've always talked about going down to 135, 140, somewhere around there. And I think because he was like 6'1", I'm only 5'6", so I have a lot of disadvantages, quote unquote, if you say trying to fight that high, and I do have a lot of fat on me. So I think what he taught me was, you know, I can take those hard hits from guys like him, and I can take nobody can deny that Manning was very fast. He's got some really crisp jab and stuff. So I'm like, if I can withstand that speed and power, then the lower weight classes should be a little bit more easier for me to hopefully dominate in the future. So this fight is really just in my mind saying, okay, yeah, I can do well in these divisions, but what if I can really thrive and where I need to be at? So I'm going to cut the weight naturally, hopefully, and then walk around at 145 and then fight at 135. So that would be the goal. But speaking of Manning, you know, in his fight where it was a potential title elimination fight. So apparently there's talks about him maybe fighting Jordan
Jordan.
Clark in January,
Yep.
which I am really interested in seeing because Manning is long, and Jordan Clark, we saw how he was against Warren Belcher. Now he ain't as tall as Warren Belcher, but there's still some what do they call it? There's still some patterns that you just don't always get away from. So I want to see how Jordan Clark deals with his long range. If Jordan Clark can fight him in the inside, because Jordan, in my opinion, Jordan's not going to beat him on the outside because he's just not long enough. So that fight in January is going to be very, very good.
Yeah, I'm pumped for that one. I think
Yeah.
I need to message Jordan back. Thinking of it, I saw something popped up. I was busy doing something, working or something earlier, and I saw it pop up on my phone, like the alert that he messaged me asking about something about January. I couldn't see the whole message, so I'll message him back. And I just realized like I haven't even been on Facebook. So since then, it's been hours. I think I was still at work, like way earlier today. I don't know.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. So if I don't get your message, I'm sorry. I mean to. And some people, oh, get off there, girl. Cat scratching my green screen, sharpening them claws. That's not the place to do that, girl. No, don't think. I think she's trying to make me go to bed. She's gonna scratch my green screen just to get me to get up. Yeah. So if I ignore your message, sorry. I know the other day I went on my Facebook. I started scrolling down, finding unread messages. I'm like, oh crap! I just replied to them like they just messaged me. Like you messaged me like Tuesday. And like, what's up, Keith? I'll message you back 3 weeks later. Hey, not much, man. What's going on? Not much. I'll reply to you. But yeah, my bad. Yeah, around these fight weekends and stuff too, I get blown up. People asking about tickets, and fighters like, hey, what time should I be there? Or asking like rule questions. Like, dude, I'm not going to see this on fight week. I'm in here setting up or doing whatever. Like loading my truck, trying to get everything ready to go, and then getting down there, working, setting up. Just I'm not checking messages on fight weekend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I tried to call you a couple times whenever I was headed to the weigh.
Yeah.
And you wasn't able to get to me. But again, like I said, you got a couple of guys that are helping you with the gate, helping you do this and third, maybe like 5 guys total. But the rest of the stuff, like all the paperwork, making sure everything's running smoothly, that's all you. So it is really hard to get with somebody to get to respect everybody when you have all that work.
I could do less. I could probably make a cut back on a lot of the stuff I do. It would make the show not quite as good, but I could probably really kill my workload and take a lot of stuff off of me. But I'm trying to make better experience. And
well, I enjoyed Bridgeport. I thought that was an amazing show, and you had food there, you had beer there. I mean, it was.
They
nice.
had beer,
like,
really?
It's nice.
They had beer.
Yeah, they had beer there.
I didn't know that.
Beer.
I don't drink. I just didn't know that they had it.
Yeah.
I had some Mountain Dew though. I did splurge. I had some Mountain Dew, baby. I even had a Dr. Pepper or Pepsi or something. I don't even remember now. I had something. I don't drink as much Mountain Dew as I used to, but I let myself drink it on fight. It's my rule. Here's my rule. I can have one Mountain Dew Tuesday through Friday. I can have one each day. Other than that, it's got to be like water or sugar-free stuff.
Yeah.
But then on fight weekend, I don't have a limit. Like I'm like, I'll drink whatever I want on fight weekend, and then I don't feel so good. But whatever. I go all out on the Mountain Dew, baby. I used to drink like way too much of that. That's why I got fat. Or part of the reason I got fat. Oh, hey, I want to play the video round 3, man. Round 3 of your fight. I want you to walk me through this.
Okay,
I meant to do that like 10 minutes ago, or actually I meant to do that like an hour ago, but we're 2 hours into this.
Yeah, when we watch this third round, this last 15 seconds, I think that's what you're going to bring up here, roughly towards the end of that round.
I'm just playing the whole round. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Towards the end of that round, I'll be able to break down where his experience, because he was 11-4 at the time, where experience kind of took over.
Mm-hmm.
So start engaging on that. And from his last fight, he kind of slowed down a lot.
Everybody.
He looked like he's not really up to par with fighting these 3 2-minute rounds. So I thought in this third round I would be able to have a little bit more conditioning over him, but now he surprised me. He was still in there to be game.
Uppercut.
Oh yeah, he hit me a nasty overhead. Yeah, there was an uppercut in the second round that it literally knocked my head up. But you see how, so like he's using like
I'm
a
gonna
veteran
pause this
move
for
by
one
holding it a
second.
little bit to
I'll
catch a
pause
little bit
this
of
for
breath.
1 second.
Are you good?
I just pause it for 1 second. I was talking earlier about old Chase Stafford being one of our all-time leaders. So, right there, baby. He's still
Yeah.
hadn't been active lately, but
That's
he's still
crazy.
up on our top wins in NLC.
Which I love that, by the way, with the cage there. I was like, oh, that's pretty neat. Might
Yeah.
be on there one
Oh
day,
yeah,
hopefully.
we'll be doing. Oh yeah.
But I felt like I was getting the better of the exchanges with the pressure. Like that's how I thought I was winning the rounds. It was because of pressuring down. But you can see how he's rolling.
Mm-hmm.
He's using the guard. So Philly's rolling a little bit, and then these last 30 seconds, I think me and him just go back and forth.
Yeah, you're just
And
throwing.
see, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm throwing, and he's backing away, and he's jabbing, which that wins a lot of points is whenever you're jabbing and I'm just walking into him. So, but I think this is where the experience and the veteran move came from. Like, I think he wrestled a little bit and now he has a lot more pop to me. I'm just throwing. I'm just trying to show that I want it more than he does. And this is where where he pushed me off there. And then his last few little flurry, that's what beat me right there. And I think the judges saw that
Yeah,
last one and had just a
you
little
were
more
kind
pop.
of you were kind of just like slinging him, and
Yeah,
he was being a little more technical there at the end of that.
right. And I think that's what judges look at.
He was moving his head, blocking and throwing, whereas you were just like boom, boom, boom. So I mean, you were throwing them in a good combo and good rhythm to it. It wasn't just like throw. I mean, you were mixing it up, but really not a whole lot of defense with what your offense was your offensive output there toward the end.
Yeah.
But it's like, I guess you're, it's close. You're like, this could be going either way right now. I gotta land something.
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to just show him I wanted it more, but he was like, "No, I want it more too." So I think that veteran move he was a little bit more crispy on that last exchange, and that's what got him that victory.
Yeah, just landed a few clean ones. I don't know that any of them were like big there, but they were clean. So
yeah,
I mean, you got some in, and I think you landed a good right overhand, like right at the bell too.
Yeah,
but it's like too little, too late on that.
right.
Still, I mean, a solid fight. I felt like you were a little tired in round 3, and I don't know if maybe that. I mean, you drove like 8, 9, 10 hours on fight day, something like that. So I don't know if that had something to do with it, but I saw the fatigue though. But I mean, you look smooth early because I was talking about that, how round 1 you were looking real smooth, and round 3 you're pretty tired.
Yeah, so I'm gonna continue to work on that cardio. Try to get that a little back down.
Yeah, you probably needed to take like a 5-hour nap. Take a 5-hour nap, wake up about 2 hours before the fight, and start moving around. That's what you needed. Hydrate real good, and go to sleep. Man, it was a good fight, man, and it's been good having you a part of these shows, and then helping me with this too, doing the podcast and talking about the fights. And you're real knowledgeable too. So like, you're not just knowledgeable on the boxing, but all of it. You're interested in everything. Like boxing is what you're focused on yourself, but you follow all of it, even the jiu-jitsu. So I know you were willing to talk about the jiu-jitsu earlier, but I was like, no, we'll kind of skip that tonight. We got a lot. We're 2 hours. We're at 2 hours.
Obviously, I see why now.
Yeah, I said that's what I was telling you. We spend 1 minute talking about each fight, which they all need more than a minute. We spend 1 minute. That's 25 minutes right there. And when you add our intros and outros, we're at half an hour giving each fight 1 minute of time. Like, there's no way we can do this. Yeah, we're 2 hours in. But I'm gonna get some more interviews with more of the other guys, bring some of them in, talk about their individual fights. I want to do one just talking about jiu-jitsu, the world of jiu-jitsu, start bringing in some coaches. I know Larry Barker is wanting to do an interview. I asked him a while back, and we just kept we were playing phone tag basically. I like, hey Larry, I'm ready, man, and then he'd hit me up like 7 a.m. Sorry, buddy, I just got your message, and then I wasn't very, I don't know. We've been trying to link up for an interview for like 3 months now, me and Larry. Love that guy.
Awesome.
But yeah. Well, man, I believe we've covered it all. We covered what we were going to cover. I'm tired. You're tired. We've been working all day. Got to do it again tomorrow.
Got to do it again tomorrow. That's right.
Do it again tomorrow. You got to do it again here in like 7 hours. So, yeah. Oh man. Hey, thanks for coming on, dude. We'll do this again soon.
Yeah, thanks for
And
having me.
hey, everybody that's still watching, appreciate you. Everybody that quit watching an hour and a half ago, I'm not gonna say it, but thanks for watching the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Hey, drop some comments, some fights you guys want to see. Drop them in the comments. What were some of your favorite fights? Who were some of your favorite fighters? What were some of your favorite moments from this event? Let us know. Want to hear from you guys? What are some things you want to see? Let us know. And here's one thing I want to ask everybody: who do you want to see this guy fight next? Who do you want to see Dalton in there with? What
Yeah,
sport? You want to see him in MMA? You
I'll
want to
do
see him
it.
in kickboxing? Dalton in there with Cole Givens or something like that? Make it happen. Cole might be watching this. But what y'all want to see? Let's make it happen. But yeah. Well, hey Dalton, man, thanks for coming on. Guys, thanks
Hey,
for
thanks for
watching.
having
And
me.
that's it. That's it. That's all we got. All right. And if I can, my mouse isn't working. I can't turn it off. Come on. It's wireless. Come on now. I can't hit the leave button. Can't hit the stop button. Come on now. I got it. There it is. Boom.